You might think oatmeal is the safest choice. That plain slice of toast? Harmless. But what if I told you that the same breakfast you've been trusting for years could quietly double your stroke risk after 70? This isn't fear-mongering, it's what recent studies across Europe and the US are uncovering. Aging bodies react differently to food, especially in the early hours when blood vessels are more sensitive. If you're over 70, this video could change how you start your day, and maybe how long that day lasts. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more elderly wisdom, and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Let's begin with one of the most underestimated items on the breakfast table: white toast. It seems innocent, just a slice of bread, toasted maybe with a little butter or jam. Simple, comforting, familiar. But for people over 70, when you eat it, your blood sugar spikes quickly and then crashes. Over time, repeated spikes damage the blood vessel walls, promoting inflammation and leading to plaque buildup. High blood sugar and insulin resistance are major risk factors for stroke and heart disease in older adults. According to a 2023 European study that followed over 8,000 seniors, those who consumed refined grains like white toast every day had a 42% greater chance of ischemic stroke compared to those who opted for whole grains. This is not theory, it's statistics backed by real lives. Take the story of Mr. Harold, a retired high school teacher from Vermont, 76 years old. For years, he ate 2 slices of white toast with jam and coffee every morning. Then one day, he experienced sudden slurred speech and a numbness in his arm. It was a transient ischemic attack, a mini stroke. His doctor reviewed his daily habits and told him bluntly, "It's time to switch. Your breakfast is hurting your brain." Harold swapped out the white bread for sprouted whole grain toast topped with avocado and olive oil. In 6 months, his blood pressure and cholesterol improved, and he felt more mentally alert. The foods that once gave him comfort were slowly taking away his health. Elderly reflections remind us, the meals we've always trusted don't always deserve that trust as we age. Next, let's talk about something that's widely misunderstood: packaged fruit juice. For many seniors, a glass of orange juice feels like a healthy way to start the day. It's fruit, after all. It's labeled no sugar added, so it must be fine. But what most people over 70 don't realize is that even the most natural-looking juice is essentially liquid sugar, often with as much or more sugar than soda. And because there's no fiber in juice, the sugar rushes straight into the bloodstream, causing a spike in blood glucose and insulin. This leads to damage in the arteries, especially the tiny vessels in the brain, which increases the risk of stroke significantly. In fact, a comprehensive study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that seniors who drank sugary beverages, including 100% fruit juices, on a daily basis were 31% more likely to suffer a stroke than those who didn't. Let me introduce you to Monsieur Zivam, age 81, from Lyon, France. She had always started her day with a big glass of orange juice, believing it kept her immune system strong. But over time, she began to experience dizzy spells, mild vision changes, and fatigue. Her doctor found signs of insulin resistance and prediabetes. He suggested she replace her morning juice with whole fruit, an orange eaten with the fiber intact, and switch to water infused with lemon or mint. Within weeks, her energy returned, the dizzy spells disappeared, and her morning headaches stopped. It was a powerful transformation sparked by a single change. Elderly wisdom is learning that natural isn't always safe, and what we drank at 40 may not serve us at 70. Now let's move on to one of the most dangerous breakfast habits: processed meats. I'm talking about bacon, sausage, ham, and deli meats. They taste great. They remind us of Sunday mornings. But for older adults, they are loaded with sodium, nitrates, and saturated fats. Ingredients that are known to constrict blood vessels and raise blood pressure, cholesterol, and inflammation, all of which are major contributors to stroke. According to long-term data from Harvard Health, older adults who consumed processed meats more than 3 times per week had a 35% higher risk of stroke compared to those who avoided them. The nitrates used to preserve these meats can damage the inner lining of the arteries, making it easier for plaque to build up and break off, potentially causing a stroke. The story of Mr. Carl, age 74, from Columbus, Ohio, illustrates this perfectly. Carl had a routine: 2 strips of bacon and eggs every morning. Then one day he collapsed while gardening. His blood pressure had spiked beyond safe levels. In the ER, the doctor warned him processed meat was pushing his body beyond its limit. Carl was stunned. He never thought bacon could be the issue, but he listened. He replaced bacon with grilled mushrooms and lean turkey, or fish for breakfast, sometimes just boiled eggs with herbs and tomatoes. Within a month, his blood pressure dropped and his energy levels rose. He even noticed fewer headaches and better sleep. Carl now tells his friends at the senior center, "I had to choose between flavor and a future. I chose a future. Senior health isn't about suffering. It's about making wise swaps that keep you here longer." Now let's talk about flavored yogurts. They sit in nearly every senior's fridge, convenient, delicious, and labeled with words like low fat, high protein, or with real fruit. But peel back the label and you'll often find up to 20 grams of added sugar in a single cup. That's 5 teaspoons. For seniors, this is more than a dietary nuisance. It's a neurological hazard. Excess sugar increases inflammation and promotes the buildup of fatty deposits in blood vessels, including those that supply the brain. A high sugar breakfast also causes blood sugar crashes, leading to dizziness and confusion. 2 major fall risks among the elderly. In a 2022 study by the National Institute on Aging, adults over 70 who consumed sweetened dairy products at least 5 times a week showed 18% higher incidence of small vessel strokes. The difference in brain scans between those who ate unsweetened yogurt versus flavored varieties was staggering. Just ask Mrs. Joan, age 79 from Minnesota. She enjoyed peach yogurt every morning. It was easy, quick, and seemed healthy. But after several fainting spells and 1 minor stroke, her physician traced the issue to her elevated fasting glucose. Made worse by her daily yogurt routine, she switched to plain Greek yogurt with chia seeds and fresh blueberries, and within 2 months her glucose stabilized and her energy returned. Joan later shared, "I didn't need more sweetness in life. I needed more truth in my choices." Elderly reflections remind us that small habits repeated daily can either build us up or break us down. It's not about removing everything we enjoy, it's about removing the lies from our plates. Next up is something that's considered a classic across both American and European breakfast tables. Breakfast cereals. From cornflakes to granola, they promise heart health, fiber, or vitamins. But the truth? Most cereals, especially those in colorful boxes or labeled energy boosting, are high in refined grains and added sugars. They provide a quick spike of energy, followed by a crash that leaves seniors tired, irritable, and vulnerable to poor circulation. This daily blood sugar roller coaster affects the endothelial function, the inner lining of blood vessels, making strokes more likely. A 2021 British cohort study found that elderly individuals who ate processed breakfast cereals more than 4 times a week had 27% greater carotid artery thickness, a known predictor of stroke. And the worst part? Many of these cereals are marketed as heart healthy. It's deceptive and dangerous. Monsieur Benito, 80 years old from Madrid, ate cereal every morning with skim milk. He thought it was keeping his heart strong. But when his carotid ultrasound showed plaque buildup, his doctor explained the glycemic impact of those cereals. Benito began preparing steel-cut oats with cinnamon and crushed walnuts, cutting out processed cereal entirely. Within months, his cholesterol dropped and brain fog disappeared. He now teaches a small group of seniors how to prepare real breakfasts at his local community center. He says if it comes in a box and has a mascot on it, don't trust it. That's the kind of elderly wisdom that saves lives. Now let's talk about breakfast pastries. Croissants, muffins, danishes, or the good old donut. They're delicious, no doubt, but for seniors they are the perfect storm of stroke risk factors. High sugar, high saturated fat, and zero fiber. These foods spike triglycerides and blood sugar, promote arterial stiffness, and lead to insulin resistance over time. Even occasional indulgence, when done regularly, can chip away at vascular health, and when combined with a sedentary lifestyle, the effects multiply. A senior's body no longer has the metabolic flexibility of a 40-year-old. According to data from the European Society of Cardiology, seniors who consumed baked pastries more than twice per week showed 33% higher likelihood of cerebral ischemia events, especially when combined with high LDL and low HDL cholesterol. Take the story of Mrs. Irene, age 84. From Toronto, she lived independently and started each day with a warm muffin from the bakery downstairs. It was her comfort. But after being diagnosed with vascular dementia early last year, her neurologist reviewed her dietary habits and flagged muffin as a hidden source of harm. Irene was devastated until she discovered almond flour banana bread made with no added sugar. It became her new morning routine. Not only did her meridian stabilize, but she also felt less sluggish and bloated. She now bakes with her granddaughter every weekend, sharing healthy recipes. Irene says, "Growing old doesn't mean giving up joy. It means choosing joy that keeps you here longer." Life lessons from the elderly often sound like recipes, but their ingredients are wisdom, resilience, and love. We've now uncovered 6 common breakfast foods: white toast, packaged juice, processed meats, flavored yogurts, sweet cereals, and pastries that could quietly double the risk of stroke after 70. And yet the solutions are simple. Whole foods, fewer labels, more fiber, less sugar. That's not deprivation, that's dignity in aging. Let me know in the comments what shocked you the most. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more senior health stories filled with elderly reflections and real-life transformation. And tell me, where in the world are you watching from? So now, what can you actually eat for breakfast after 70 without risking your brain, your heart, or your independence? The answer isn't complicated. It's rooted in common sense and real food. The best breakfast for a senior is one that nourishes the body without overwhelming it. Let's begin with the power of whole grains. Steel-cut oats, sprouted grain toast, quinoa porridge. These aren't trendy foods. They're time-trapped, high in fiber, low on the glycemic index, and rich in B vitamins. Whole grains release energy slowly and protect blood vessels from the inflammatory spikes caused by refined carbs. A 2020 review in the Journal of Geriatric Nutrition found that seniors who replaced refined grains with whole grains had significantly lower rates of stroke, memory loss, and blood pressure spikes. One inspiring case is Mr. Lee, age 77, from Portland. He was skeptical at first, having eaten white toast and jam for most of his life. But when his daughter introduced him to sprouted rye with avocado and a poached egg, he began to feel full longer and noticed he no longer needed a mid-morning nap. That small change gave him back hours of energy every day. Elderly wisdom isn't about chasing new trends. It's about returning to what truly works. Another great choice is protein. Real protein, not sugar-coated yogurts or processed meats. Think of boiled eggs, cottage cheese, unsweetened Greek yogurt, a handful of almonds, or even smoked salmon with lemon and greens. These foods support lean muscle, stabilize blood sugar, and protect brain tissue. Protein in the morning also helps with satiety, which is especially important as seniors tend to eat smaller portions throughout the day. Mrs. Brenda, age 82, from Birmingham, had been losing muscle mass and balance. Her physical therapist suggested a protein-rich breakfast. Within 3 months of switching to eggs with steamed spinach and cheese, her gait improved and her mood lifted. She now walks twice a day and hasn't needed her cane in over 6 weeks. That's the quiet miracle of nutrition. One plate at a time. Quotes from seniors like Brenda prove that recovery is possible at any age when you feed the body with intention. Fresh fruits also deserve a place at the breakfast table, but not as juice. Real fruits, whole and unpeeled when possible. Blueberries, apples, pears, and kiwis are rich in antioxidants and fiber. They help fight oxidative stress and inflammation, 2 key factors in age strokes. 1 serving of berries a day has been shown to reduce the risk of cognitive decline by over 20%. According to a study from Tufts University, Mr. Davis, age 85, from Chicago, began adding a bowl of blueberries and walnuts to his breakfast. He says he feels sharper now than he did at 70. Every morning he reads the newspaper, without forgetting names or dates like before. He credits that small bowl of berries and a bigger commitment to himself. Life lessons from the elderly often hide in those little changes we ignore until they make a big difference. And don't underestimate hydration. Seniors often wake up mildly dehydrated, which can thicken blood and increase the chance of clotting. Starting the day with warm lemon water, herbal tea, or plain water before food helps flush the system and activate digestion. It's a gentle ritual that prepares the body for better choices. Mrs. Carla, 79, from Dublin, once believed coffee was all she needed in the morning. But when she began her day with warm water and turmeric, she noticed fewer headaches and more regular digestion. It wasn't dramatic, but it was steady. And sometimes, steady is the most powerful form of change. The truth is, aging isn't about fear. It's about learning, about letting go of the things that no longer serve us and embracing new rhythms with courage and self-respect. Your breakfast is your first promise to your health each day. Keep it clean, keep it simple, and keep it kind. Let your morning meal be one of intention, not habit. You've earned better than blood sugar spikes and hidden dangers. You've earned nourishment, clarity, and peace. And that begins not with a diet, but with a choice. What did you find most surprising in today's video? Did any part of this reflect your own habits or those of someone you love? Drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more elderly reflections, elderly wisdom and inspiration grounded in real life. We bring you stories that speak not only to the science, but to the soul.